Gaming. We are on Raid Shadow Legends today. We're looking at the start of the fusion. So this is going to be our, what's his name? Fabian fusion, Lord Entertainer Fabian, which consists of four epic legend or epic void champions and then 16 of these rare ones. We're going to talk about where we're at when it comes to our resources that we started almost exactly a month ago. So it would have been a month minus a week. So we started on February 17th. We're going to see where we're at. We started with 0 shards on anything besides mystery shards just to see where we could get up to. I did pull all of my primal shards and got absolutely nothing but rares. Not even one single epic, which is kind of bad out of 9. So we do not have any primals. So we're going into this fusion with 31 ancients, 10 voids, and then 12 sacreds. Those are coming from events. Those are coming from clan boss. Those are coming from just playing the game in general. So I would say we're in a pretty good spot when it comes to our shards. And we do have one legendary fragment to go. We should have this guy, and I'll kind of talk a little bit more about him when it does come to this. There's no way we're going to have her in time. But then we do have 2 remnant summons, so basically 2 epics here that we will have for the champion chase tournament. And then where we're setting at for gems, we had started with 229 gems on February 17th, and now we are going at 3,876 gems. So I would say a good increase of gems that'll really help us get done with it. When it comes to the soul, most likely afterwards, it's going to be pulling these for the champion chase or pulling shards. So I'm trying to keep that in mind. So we are setting pretty good. We're going to be about 18 of these small ones. Should be about 16 to most likely going to be 17, 18 of these medium ones. And then if needed, I can do one of these. I'm trying to save these though for our gold ones right there because we are still going for that Marius. And now we have the Cheshire Cat that we're saving up these little silver ones for as well. So that's kind of situation there when it comes to hopefully his soul afterwards. So I would say overall we're setting a good spot, 31.17 or 16 million silver. That is with doing a bunch of artifact enhancement. We started this with 30.6 or 30.96 million silver. So we're back at that. And then we obviously have our silver that we can just forge a bunch of these to get silver. Another tip for silver, I save all of these gold medals for the gold chest, and most of the gear here isn't anything that's worthwhile. So if I ever need silver, I'll go ahead and pull these so that way I can get some more silver in terms of that. So I wanted to talk about the fusion, and then I want to talk about how I'm going to attack this fusion to get the most out of my resources. I did see a comment in our clan that said it's becoming a whale fest, but I do think if you're just mindful, like I've definitely played the game, I've definitely went for some of the events when I shouldn't have. I should have a lot more shards in this. If you're mindful playing the game, and that's the important part. It's just you have to be mindful when it comes to this. Mindful, a little bit tactical, and it's not asking very much. I think these fusions are very easy. So like this tag team, these are all free resources for just playing tag team arena. I should be able to get up to this one by the end of it after the reset. I just keep going to here. I made sure that we stayed. Actually, we went up into silver 2. I've been kind of slack when it comes to this. I'll just refresh and then I'll attack these guys to get those points. So that way I'm getting gems, I'm getting energy, I'm getting silver, and then I'm also getting these badges or whatever they're called, the medals for this. So that way I can get the extra silver here, I can get the extra energy here, and I can get that, what is it, the ancient and then the void shard. So I'm just playing the game as it comes. I also run a full-time business, and then I also stay at home with my kids 2 days a week. So you can't tell me it's all about, oh, I don't have the time to do it. Yes, you might be very busy, but there's not a lot to ask for because I do feel like a lot of this runs in the background, which is super nice. So I'll go through and I'll finish these 2 other battles that are just super easy, and then I'll just let it sit there. Just periodically kind of log in when it comes to that. So that's where we're setting when it comes to this. I did want to highlight that legendary champion. So there should be about 650 champion chase points. So I'll talk about champion chase, and I'll talk about summoning events, and I'll talk about the different events on how to kind of maximize it all in one quick video, hopefully. So ever since you now only get, what is it, -3 for losing and you get 9, you're gonna have 3 losses in a row and it equals these out. Typically, if you go 2 for 3 or two wins and 3 losses in your 5 battles, you're still gonna net 9 points here. Now, hopefully, your 5 looks more like this, so you're gonna net more points and you can easily start going up. I've started to focus on this. When before the change, I was stuck around 3,600 points, and after I've been able to grind for another 300 points, and I would imagine either end of the reset today or tomorrow. I'm not going to push extra hard because the champion chase tournament isn't until next weekend, not this upcoming weekend, so I don't need him for this one. So I'm going to have 650 points there. So let's see, I'm going to have 650 points from this one, another 500 from this one. So we're looking about what, 1,150 points. And then I'm going to be able to fuse at least, I think it's 4 or 5. Okay, at least 5 of these guys. Because then I just think I got the last piece that I needed to make another copy. So I'll just take her from there. So I just got the last piece, so I'll be able to make 5 more. So that's another 1,000. It's 2,150 points, which should be around where that rare champion is going to be at. So I'm going to be able to complete this without even pulling a single shard. If I need the Remnant summons, I can pull the Remnant summons for at least another 500 to getting lucky, maybe and getting a mythical. That would be awesome to happen. I'm not counting my luck there because it never happens. So I'm able to do that. When it comes to additional resources to get, I'm trying to pick and choose when I'm doing different things. So I knew right now I had a bunch of energy in my inbox, so I'm not going after these energy ones, but I'm making sure that they are readily available. So that way I can just go and target farm those energy spaces. So like as you can see right now, I have 3 out of those that are available that I can target farm. And now I can go into normal and try to see where the energy is located at, so that way I can get up to that point if I need to grab a couple more energy for a dungeon diver, for a champion, or for a tournament, for any of the event dungeons, all of that. So it's good to go. So, and then when it comes to the summon rush, it's all about summoning shards. This is going to be the event that does have the epic champion in it. So I'm going to try to go for the epic champion. I have 12 sacreds here, which give you the most points for them. I'm hoping it's going to be at about 8 with a combination of these voids. But I'm going to try to save some of these. I don't mind pulling the void shards here because they tend to be, I think it's like 300 points or around there. So another 3,000 points, even if I could just do this one and be fine. I'd be 3 here or 10 here and then 6 here, would net me around 5,000 points. I'm hoping that's going to be where that epic is going to be at. It is a void epic, so it might be a little bit higher than that, which if it is, that's totally fine. I can just kind of blow through those. But that's going to allow me to skip 4 other events because I'm already going to have one of the pieces to get to here, so I don't have to do those 4 events. When it does come to those 4 events, I haven't quite decided which 4 events I'm going to skip. I do know that there are certain events that really, really bite. So is this going to be all of them? So we talked about, which ones did we talk about? The Summon Rush. So that's going to be about summoning specific champions. I won't have to pull any shards really for that. We talked about the Champion Chase, or is it the Summon Rush is going to have the 2? Okay, so the Summon Rush is going to have the 2. So that's going to be about summoning champions from shards. Sounds good. I think I have enough to do that one, so that's fine. Dungeon Diver 2 event, I will skip. So we have one there. We have the other Dungeon Divers event that I will also skip. This last champion training, or there should be a champion training tournament. Okay, so it doesn't line up with towards the end, which kind of sucks. This one I might skip, so that's going to be 3 there, just because who knows what I'm going to get from the Summon Rush when it comes to actually trainable champions. I'm going to be pulling higher shards versus a bunch of epics, so I'm not going to have a lot of stockpile in there. I kind of went for the last hardcore champion training thing, so I don't have a lot of champions to train right now, so it's going to be 3 on there with the 2 Dungeon Divers, the champion training tournament, just because they do take a lot more time. And then I have my choice to kind of skip whatever one I want to from this. Most likely it'll be the last gear enhancement event. just because I'll probably be at that point anyways, and that'll be the last one to go. I have enough silver for the first two gear enhancements, so we are good there. So when it comes to just general quick tips, it's obviously Dungeon Divers overlay with this, and then using your Dungeon Divers to really farm the stage 20. That's what I do, and I farm it with food, so that way I'm doing the champion training. It's nice that those two overlapped, especially with this dungeon or dragon event, which I just got done with the dragon event. I'll kind of show you where I'm at, how it lined up at least. And then we have our gear one coming in here. I have 31 million silver, so I'm not too worried about that one. The Ice Golem tournament also lines up with a Dungeon Diver, so I will hold for a day and then I will start doing this, because even though I am skipping this Dungeon Divers, you're still going to be able to get the first couple resources when it comes to this, probably about the first 1,000 points to do it. So you might as well use it effectively. So I'll be able to do some summoning rush with this. The classic arena tournament is not hard. Just do it right now. Put a one-man defense into it, into your classic arena, and then just kind of drop, and then you can easily get this done. The champion training tournament. Now, while I like this one more than the event, the tournament is about upgrading your champions, and you can do it in more than where this event, you only do it by levels and upgrading their ranks. Where the champion training tournament, you can do it more by their books, by ascension. So it's just a lot easier to get to those points. So that way I do save my books. But I think that's one of the reasons why I do want to skip this, because right now I just have the 12 books. And when it comes to that new champion, I do want to go ahead and book him out. And I think he needs two, what was it, 6, 10 books. So he does need 10 books, none of his passive, so that's good. So I'll be able to book him once the next CVC comes around. So I do want to go ahead and save those books. So that's why I'll be skipping that one event when it does come to that champion training. Gear enhancement is all about having silver. Use your forge to silver. This does line up with your spider tournament, so use that to also get silver. So that's kind of nice and friendly, so I won't be skipping that. The Fire Knight tournament is just all about your energy. Once again, it's your energy and your gems. So if you have those gems, use them when you're farming these different ones when you need to. But I would highly suggest just using them on the last day if you know you're going to be able to log into it. Because if you're using them early, you're missing all of that daily energy that comes into there. So I only use gems when it comes to the last day on there. So then you have your Dungeon Divers, which we're going to skip this one. Your Champion Chase tournament, which will be super easy. I'm thinking about skipping this one, but it seems like the second one always either has some good rewards or some good champions that you can kind of hope for the best. So we'll see if I get any legendary from the sacreds on here. So I might be kind of tempted to pull one. And then your champion or your classic arena tournament is super easy. Your gear enhancement, again, all about silver. So that's going to be what our plan of attack is to do this. We did track our resources at the beginning of the fusion, so we can see where we are going to end when we're completely done. Nice little chicken there. I always say go for the chicken, just because even though when you get done with this one, if it is a Dungeon Divers, you're going to have more Dungeon Diver points. So we did get done with this. When it comes to this portion of it, I know I'm number one right now just because I had a bunch of energy saved up that was ready to expire. So I just took it and just kind of busted everything into there. I'll not be going for that most likely. We already talked about this, so I will be either trying to get first here or at least getting all of these. Typically when you get all of these, you're at least in the top 3. So that's always some nice resources when it comes to this relentless gear, whether it's silver at the end of the day or actually good gear. I still like relentless gear for my account. We don't have anything there. We are hoping for another what are these? Is he a tummy? Nope. Prism crystals. We're hoping for another prism crystals because I did the last Sand Devil one. I just never touched it. So then it went to inbox after it expired. So that's a quick tip that you can do from there when it comes to our events that we have going up right now. So this is the champion training tournament, which I did not prepare very well for because I did bust a bunch of it. I just didn't expect it to be so early. Especially with the fusion starting on a Monday versus the fusion starting on a Thursday. You typically get some kind of summoning event that pairs with this, which this one did not. So that one kind of big surprise for us. I would love to push and get these resources here just because I will be skipping the next one. So having these primal quartz will give me 60. Will that give me another summon? Okay, so that would give me another summon if I needed to. I'll try to save that as much as I can on that, so that way when it comes to another 2 times primal, since it is their anniversary, they might do another one. But we have another primal, we have another one of these soul stones, which are just really great points. They're hard to get to, so being able to just bust for another 1300 or more points, great. Void shards are also kind of hard to get to, so it's just literally another 14 or 1350. And then these are really, really great to get. They're hard to find, hard to get. It is 12,000 points, which really, really sucks, because normally I think it's 10,000 points is your max. So it is a lot higher when it comes to these additional ones, but these are very good. I think normally maybe you get a large stone with these at that. So maybe they're not as good as I've been thinking. Dungeon Divers really sucks. I've been able to farm all the dragon and then use the rest of my energy in campaign to kind of target farm those rares. And I'm still, what, 1,700 points away. So I'm almost halfway there, which kind of sucks, but I do still have 2.5 days left to go. So I'm not too worried about that. And then we did just finish the rest of our fusion warm up, so we got another one of our shards. So the rest of the time until the next couple of events that should start here in a couple of days. Let's see. So we did have these 3 start. So here in 2 days, gear enhancement. So now it's all going to be looking ahead, going, okay, gear enhancement is on my next one. If I don't have silver, maybe when you're done with the dragon tournament, you're switching now to spider for all of your excess energy for the Dungeon Divers tournament, because you know you're going to be able to get more silver, so you're going to be in a good spot when it does come to this. So looking at the gear enhancement now ahead, so I'll probably switch my efforts now, since I do have the 5 epics to go ahead and fuse. So I think I'm going to be pretty solid when it comes to the summon rush. So I'll switch my focus now on spider tournament. I'll just put in a team that can either solo it or duo it. So I need to check to see if I have actually one of the teams that can do that. So I'll just do 20, take all of them out, and then I would try to focus on who could probably solo. So I'm thinking Marius can probably solo. I do have Wallmaster Ethereon as well, so he's probably going to be a solo option. And then I'll just throw in some food. I always test it first with a super rate off, see if it works. He's built in stone skin and I guess lethal. Yeah, probably stone skin and lethal gear, because I do farm the Dark Fae. So that way we can just farm. We can do our live arena because he has his stone skin on, and then he still works in the Hydra, still works in all of the dungeons. So we'll see if he can get another turn. Okay, great. So perfect timing. He's exactly speed tuned, just what I was thinking. But this one should be fine. It's probably going to be about a minute and a half, just because the spiderlings dropping are super irritating. He can farm he soloed Dragon 20 with the same gear and everything in 40 seconds around average. So he was my only champion I used for that tournament. I would need to see if he can also do the same thing when it comes to the Ice Golem. I know for a fact that Wallmaster Arthurian can, just because he has this passive that he gets more HP, more survivability. So this one looks fine. So I'll just go ahead and probably spend the rest of my energy going to be in this. I need to make sure that I complete those 2 these. So we did have the refresh going on. So that's going to be everything for me today. Just giving you all a resource update. We're setting pretty good, especially starting with 0 shards on February 17th, and now it is March 10th. And we have the amount of shards that we do have from Doom Tower, from everything else. We have the amount of gems that we have while we're still being able to play the game. So hopefully you are all in a great position. Hopefully you've taken some of the advice I've given previously when it comes to preparing for these kind of things while still actively playing the game, and you're able to specifically target farm the areas that you want to, so that way you can play the game how you want to play the game. That's going to be it. Everyone have a great day. Enjoy your fusion hunting, and we'll catch you in the next one.